and welcome to Add More Zest. My name's Rebecca. Happy 6th of December, everybody. So Advent today, we have a little bag for day 6 with a beefy thing in it, or a bigger thing in it. So let's open this one up. This may need some explanation, but I have put a label on it to help. So this is a little drill funnel, and this would actually be rather handy when it comes to kitting up. There is a couple of different colours it could be, but it clips on the top. I'm just checking it doesn't need to go on one particular side. It clips on the top like that, and if I can grab one of my bottles, you will find that one of these bottles fits just inside like that, so that you can use it to tip your diamonds in, especially if you're tipping in from bigger packets. You can use that, or those little packets, you know, that come with like 200 drills in them, and you can use them to get these to fit into your bottle rather than missing. So handy little tool. You can take the top off if you need to, but yeah, that's how you can get your diamonds in. And you do have a little viewing window. I mean, it won't fit in with the cap on, which is probably a good thing, but you do have a little viewing window, so you can see how full it is. So yeah, handy little gadget for today's Advent with a little drill funnel. I say there's a couple of different colours that you may have got, depending on, I was going to say depending on when it's packed, but it's not. They're just all random different colours. I think there was about 3 different colours that we picked up. But yes, we are working on day 6. We're actually connecting today for the first time. We are going to connect to another square, and I'm just having a look. I think I do need to shift day 18 up. It's like the tiniest bit, but it's just to stop my drills overlapping. Oh, we get to do some more of the riverbed and some more of the river. I really like the river. I don't know what it is. It's funky. I really like the river. But I'm going to start with diamond number 1, which is my 310. I'm using a pen today that was gifted to me by Anika. Gorgeous, handmade sort of beaded pen. And I'm using a blue tray with green stripes. Thought it'd be a little bit different than just a straight green tray. I've got that little pop of green going on, and it works quite well with today's section with our bit of blue river. I hope everybody is having a wonderful day, and you're having a great weekend. That would be good. Hope you're having a wonderful weekend, getting everything done that you plan to get done, get caught up on things, whatever it may be. Maybe you're out getting some Christmas shopping done. Maybe you're out at a Christmas market. That would also be fun. And hopefully the weather is not raining like it is here today, because it is miserable weather today. I am going to complete this whipple waffle, and then I'm going to hole myself up in the shop for a bit, I think, and try and get some stuff done, and yeah, just make a mad dash and then stay in there for a while, because I'm not a fan of getting wet. I mean, you know, if needs must, I will. I'm not somebody that uses an umbrella or anything, because I can't be bothered, quite frankly. I can't be bothered lugging it about for the amount it potentially helps. But yeah, I am somebody that if I can wait until there's a break in the rain, I will also do that. If that is a possibility, I'll always wait for a break in the rain. Okay, comments, etc. Because I don't have any sort of life updates for me because I am filming this in advance so that I still get the weekend off. And I'm hoping to get some sewing done. I think I'm going to make some makeup bags this weekend is my plan. The girls want some for their makeup stuff, and yeah, they did suggest that it could be a Christmas present, but quite frankly they have enough, so I'm just gonna make them anyway. And yeah, see if I can get any better at the process. Hopefully I have enough zips and things that go with for me to do what I want to do, but I guess we'll find that one out when I get some sewing done tomorrow. I'm not fretting about that one beforehand because there's absolutely zero I can do. My local quilt shop doesn't tend to sell zips. I normally get them at quilt shows. I do have some, I just don't know how well they match with the fabric I'm planning on using, but I'll figure that out. I'm sure if the makeup bag making goes well, it will become something that is a bit of a new obsession, but we'll deal with that later. I also need to make a little bit more headway, ideally on my quilt I'm currently working on. That is a very intense project, but I'm enjoying it. So yeah, that's my plans for the weekend, or for at least one day of the weekend. We might be going out on Sunday, not quite sure yet, but yeah. Comments, etc. So Carrie, she says she has been struggling with diamond painting. She says between her back pain and her migraines, oh dear, not the best combination. She says so for Advent she is focusing on relaxing and colouring mainly, which is good. You need to if that's what you need to do, and that's what your body needs, then it is best to do that for sure, and just take care of yourself in the best way you can. Right, sorry, I will finish reading that comment. I just need to switch colours. We have a little bit of the green grass things here, just a line that is transferred from the block below. So I guess we're starting doing some of the river as well with the colours that we're coming across, and get some pizzazz in this river. Do we need a lot of the next one? No. The next one, I just need 2. Carrie also says, she is struggling this Christmas season because it's their first since losing both of their dogs, Ace, Hunter, and Axel Rose. She says it is extra hard now, she says, as their parents lost their dog Bo on Wednesday. She said it's been a rough year. Yeah, sounds like it. Just need to take each day as it comes. Take each day for what it is, and just take care of yourself as much as you possibly can. It's hard. It's definitely hard. I need at least one more diamond. Yeah, it's tough, especially when it comes round to holidays and things, when you've had a bad year. It can be really, really hard. It just ends up being so different as well, doesn't it? And I've just realised I now need 2 more, and of course I tip out 3. But we'll do that. There we go. Yeah, sending hugs. It's going to be a different type of year, that's for sure. And yeah, hopefully being with family will help you all through it. But a tough time. Diamonds and Doberman, she says, thank you for the lovely day 2 gift. She says, great addition to her spares stash. Yes, you never know when extra diamond dust drills will come in handy. Just to add that little bit of pizzazz to a diamond painting. I love adding diamond dust drills to my paintings. Yeah, just enhances it, just that little extra bit, that's for sure. Okay, I've only tipped out a few of these diamonds, and I don't know why I've bothered. I'd be better just tipping out a load and being able to spread them over. Leslie, she says, hi Rebecca. She says she loves my nails and my chat. Thank you. She says she is on her 2nd piece of the diamond painting. She is loving it so far. She says, please keep it safe and well. She also says, she's sorry to bother me again. She commented on day 2 and then she's commented on day 3. It's a little bit of catch up going on. But she says she was just wondering if there is going to be another Advent 2026. She says she hopes so because she loves the Christmas one and she'd like to do another one. Anyway, take care. Yes, we do still have plans to do an Advent next year. We are going to change things up slightly. Basically have more options for people so they can get things that they'd like to build their stash on. Also have options according to budgets for people is the plan. We haven't finalised things yet, and we definitely haven't finalised content yet. But yeah, we're hoping to have a few different options for Advent next year. Because for us, personally, now we've done this quite a few years, it's always the extras, the extra bits that can be harder and harder to do. So the likes of today's, the drill pot and things, like we wouldn't want to then repeat that in another Advent in the future. We feel like that is a one-time Advent thing, and while there are many people that may be getting the Advent for the first time, there are loads more that are getting it on repeat, and we don't want to keep repeating items year on year. So we try to make sure it's a mixture as much as possible. So the plan is to have a few different options next year in relation to the Advent that we can, but it'll take a few months for us to finalise those sorts of things before we start announcing them later on in the year. But there is a plan to have one, that's for sure, because I do love putting them together. So yeah, I'm just going to have a few different options. Polly, she says she received her mystery diamond painting bag yesterday, and she said she opened it today. She said she loves all the things, she says, for such a reasonable price. She says thank you so much. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it. Mystery bags were definitely a hit, both for us and for you guys. So it will be something we will look at doing, probably just the once a year. And yeah, just as we sort of get ready for the next year and the plans for things that we plan on bringing in the following year, it'll be nice to have a mystery bag option to sort of keep things flowing. She says she enjoyed the square diamond dust drills for day 2. She says she's working on a Saviour is Born from Diamond Art Club for Christmas this year. She said she did begin on November the 1st. She says, as the piece is so big. I'm not surprised on that front either. Because yeah, that sounds like an extremely big diamond painting. At least you're giving yourself the chance to finish it. Oh, I meant to test the little drill pot with that. Maybe I'll test it with this one. I keep meaning when I'm tipping the drills out to just see what it's like using the drill funnel instead. Just as a little... I mean, I'd use it more with kitting up, and I think I'd use it more especially with my Heaven and Earth Design diamonds, because they come in those little packets, and they're not as easy to manipulate as the big packets, especially when I cut open 2 at once. So I think I'm definitely going to use it for that. But if I put this in the back of here, and I'm just going to try, I'm probably not best, I did lose one, but that's because I tipped it into the corner. There we go. And I've just dropped them in, and they've just dropped straight into there. So I'm treating that as like a bigger area. And apart from one getting stuck on one of the ridges and jumping out, that worked really well. So I'm excited to put that in my cart and use that for topping up my Heaven and Earth Design drills. Okay, trying not to tip out too many when I'm doing these, but didn't particularly pay attention then to how many I needed, because it's not a lot. Because there's lots of different colours in this river. Going through quite a few different ones. Let's try it on this actually. I mean, with the drill tray, it's not needed as much because the spout is already a funnel, but that worked really well. And I've got them all in the pot. They all landed where they were supposed to land, which is good. Kathy, she says she loves watching my video. She says while she's working on her Advent canvas. She says she waits to open the daily Advent gift, she says, until I do. She says that way she gets to hear what you have to say about the item, she says, and she doesn't get confused. Hopefully there's not too many more confusing ones for you. I know there has been, especially in the past, there has definitely been the odd confusing item. I think there was a few last year. I think that's what made me have the idea of doing the vlog on it, was to explain it for those that didn't want to wait for my video to come out. But I've just not had the chance this year. I've just got my finger in so many different pies at the moment that it's just not worked out at all. But yeah, hopefully my videos will help make sense. Sorry, I have got a brew here as well, because in between whip and waffles, for me, for today, I did make myself a brew, so let me try and have a drink of that before it gets too cold. Okay. Sarah, she says, hi Rebecca and Zesties. She says, thanks for another great whip and waffle. She says she really loved seeing today's Advent gift, which was on the 3rd, just so you know where we're all up to. She says she thinks that's such a fun idea to cut out each day's square, she says, and put it on the little easel. She says she's now even more jealous. She says that she wasn't able to get an Advent this year. Oh dear. That can sometimes be the hard part as well, especially if money's tight, is not knowing what it is exactly that you're purchasing to know whether it's something that's right for you. And I get that can be a thing for some people. We did order some extra, not a lot extra, but we did order some extra of the diamond paintings, but we don't plan on putting them up until towards the end of next year, and at some point in 2026, but definitely not right at the moment. Oh, I've just realised that when I pulled that diamond off, I pulled out the whole glue dot out of this pen. So let's just get that bad boy back in, because I need it to pick up the diamonds. There we go. That's better. She says she's looking forward to see what tomorrow's gift is, and to another waffle. She says, have a great day. Hope you have a great day too. Yeah, we really enjoy both the whip and waffles and doing the Advent. And I do like the fact that with the whip and waffles, I do also get to potentially explain any thoughts behind things. And hopefully it makes things a little bit clearer for people. Okay, so I need to do this number T, and then the question is whether I do a mixture of the sand and the river, or whether I do all the river. I feel like I want to mix it up, because I feel like otherwise I'm doing all the colour first and then leaving the rest until later. I don't think it's too gappy at the moment that it annoys me, because it's when I end up with too many little gaps in places, that's when I'm like, I need to fill in the gaps. Oh, don't go there, because that's not where you need to go. Let's go there. Oh, and I've just spotted there's more. I missed some. I missed a row. 4 little ones there. There we go. That is them all. Okay, let's move to the letter Y. It's a cute colour, but it's not as cute a colour as some of the rest. It'll look good on the painting. Sorry, I am just drinking a little bit more of my brew again. I try and get it drunk. Okay. I am back with it. Right, what are we on? Letter Y. Forgetting where I was up to, but I've drunk my brew now. Charlotte, she says, just a question. She says she has the canvas in round. She says, and the cover paper also in round for this. She says, but she needs 4.5 to 5 pieces per row. She says it looks like you only use 4. She says, do you use the paper for the square one? No, I use the cover paper for the round one. She says the cover paper she got with it is 6.5 by 7.5 centimetres. 6.5 by 7.5 centimetres sounds like the square cover paper, not the round, because I know the round is 7.6 by 8.5, I think. So if you ordered the specific cover paper with the stickers, do drop us an email preferably. We'll see emails quicker than we'll see messages. Do drop us an email and we'll have a look into your order, because I can't find your order from your username, from your YouTube username. So have a look. Drop us an email via that and we'll have a look as to what's happened in relation to that. But no, the round, it is 4 across, and I think they're 7.6. Yeah, 7.6 by 8.5. They're definitely by 8.5, not 7.5. 7.5 is the square cover paper. So there's either an error with ordering or an error with dispatch, but yeah, do bob us an email and we can look into that for you. Cat Lady, she says she too is struggling to keep on top of the washing. Isn't it just the story of our lives at the moment? She says it is miserable weather in Cumbria at the moment, which we're not that far. So we have, while we may not get as much snow as Cumbria does, we definitely find the rain still falls. That's for sure. She says Wales has been down the country, she says, for herself since she first moved when she was 24. She says she's 61 now. She says she's lived in the northwest in Bolton for many years, so not so far from me, which isn't. Maybe I've got confused and thought you were moving from further down south than not realising that you were up, in effect, up here already. I think I've got confused on how far you've moved, because I had in my head that you lived further south and went up to Wales, which is, yeah, that's what's confused me. She says, then they moved to Doncaster, South Yorkshire for 18 years, and now they're back in the northwest, but higher up in the country in Cumbria. Yeah, I think I thought you were further down south than you actually were, which is probably my bad geography as much as anything else, because if you may have mentioned where you were, I probably thought it was further south. She says they have finished building flat packs. Well, that's a good achievement. Forget the washing, you've got the flat packs done. That's good. She says now they need to move a few bits of furniture around. She said she's been dotting in the morning, but as she's short on time this December, she says she hasn't split into 24 days. She says she's just put 16 pieces of cover paper on, as she knows she won't be here for the next 3 Sundays. She says then she has family visiting on from the 20th through to the 29th. She says so she has to get the house decorated. Oh, you stick. So she has to get the house decorated once she's cleared the wrapping. She says then she'll do a load of baking, change the beds and get it all ready for Christmas. She says drying the bedding will be a nightmare. Yes, I often find when I'm drying bedding, I try my best. It's always the last thing that gets done. And I just try and drape the whole thing, folded the least amount possible, over a complete maiden and stick it right in front of the dehumidifier. And then it'll actually dry fairly quickly. It's when I try to dry it along with a load of other washing that I end up facing a bit more of a problem. And yet it seems to take forever to dry when I'm drying other washing at the same time. She says, thanks for the explanation for day 3. She said she did work out what the stand was for, but she didn't open it until late afternoon, she says, and she was going out shortly after. She said, so she told her husband that she'll be back in time for Rebecca, and I'm sure she'll explain. Love it. Absolutely love it. Yeah. Hopefully everybody who has got an Advent has also been watching the videos to know exactly what they are. I haven't had emails questioning, which is pretty good. Quite often, sometimes I will get an email asking what something is, especially if my video has not come out yet. So it seems as though people are either getting what it's for or know that I will explain come the video, and they're just waiting for the video, which is always good. Jerry, she says, hi Rebecca and Zesty. She says, happy December to all. She says, warning. She says, long post ahead. It is a long post. I'm not quite sure how long because I haven't scrolled through all of it, but it is long. So she says she is a little bit late. She says watching this entire video. She said as today, as she's writing this, is the 2nd. And she's commenting on the video from the 1st. She said she opened her Advent box yesterday. She says, and also the first gift. She said she did kit that one up. She said, and worked on it yesterday while watching other videos. She says she can't believe that she is so far behind. You're not. You're just setting your own pace. Don't go panicking that you're behind. Just think that you're setting your own pace and it'll get done when it'll get done. And try not to give yourself added pressure over what is already a very manic month. Right, let me just check I got all of those before I move over. She said she'd still not put her cover paper on her Advent painting. And then it was late, she said, when she was actually able to diamond paint. She said, sorry she's been absent. She says this year has been crazy. She said beginning in February. Oh, she said her mum passed and then they were hit with an early fire season that they were working 7 days a week. And she was also travelling a lot within this time. Goodness me, sounds like December might be calm for you at the moment. She says she figured that she would finally get some time when she actually retired from work. She said, however, the bug had left her. She said, considering she was working on walking in the rain, she says, when she got the phone call about her mum. It's weird, isn't it, how the brain can associate things with other items, like associating what diamond painting you're working on with the phone call that you got. It's weird how the brain works sometimes. She said she did manage to grab one day after. She says, but only to finish the section she was working on. She says her last day of work was the 6th of June. She says, but she didn't retire until the 1st of August due to having enough vacation saved, as well as a terminal vacation, which is an automatic 10 days. She says she'd forgotten to set her alarm, she says, to get the mystery bag when they went live. She said she did manage to snag the last 3 though. They did last a few hours. I was happy that they lasted a few hours because I feel then that most people who wanted one were able to get one. I know there were some that missed out, but they did last a good few hours, so I don't feel I'm glad that they lasted a few hours. It definitely makes me feel a little bit better. that it wasn't like snatched out of people's baskets as they were checking out, because that's just the worst. She says she had planned to give one each to her sisters. She says they arrived today. She says she took them apart, she says, and she kept some of the things and gave them other things. She says things that she already had. She says one of her sisters, she says, was admiring her drill separator that you received in 2023. She says, unfortunately, she said one of the bags had one of them in there. She says, now I have to choose which sister to give them to. You got to choose which one's allowed to get which. I love it. She says, neither of them like square diamonds. She says, but she will give them theirs. She says maybe that will change their mind. It might do, and it's a small enough painting that if you give it a go with squares, it's not all bad. Like, it's not like a huge painting like the Walking in the Rain. It's not a big gigantic one with lots and lots of colours that if you're not keen on squares to start off with, they're small enough to give squares another go. And sometimes I do think with square diamond paintings, it takes a little bit of warming up to them. If you've not done them before, it takes a little bit of getting used to. And I think the 15 by 15 centimetre one is a nice one to sort of use as a warm-up, to use to get used to it. I think it's a good one for that, for sure. She says she'll be working a little faster on her painting. She says as she is leaving town on the 19th for her sister-in-law's house and heading to New Mexico to see her niece, nephew-in-law and great-niece. She says who was born exactly 1 week before her grandson. She says she's looking forward to continuing to open the Advent box each day. She says, thank you, Rebecca, and your family for all that you do for this community. She says, and thanks to your December Advent, she says, for getting me back into diamond painting. She says she knows her stash will appreciate it as well. Well, I'm so happy you're getting back into it. And if it means that Walking in the Rain is not going to get done for a while, then so be it. Because we all go at a different pace, and it's a hard time. And if that makes it harder, then just pop it away until a time that it may suit. And yeah, enjoy your other paintings, make memories with your other paintings that are different, and enjoy getting that little bit of calm time back as much as you can. That was a long comment. I like it though. I like it when we get information about, you know, what's happening with mystery bags or what people are planning to do. And plans they have either with their house or with diamond painting or with anything else. I love hearing all that sort of stuff, as well as, you know, all the questions that you ask and things. I love all of that. That one crafty witch, I do wish YouTube would let you put spaces in usernames sometimes. She says, loving the colours in this painting. Thank you. That's one of the reasons this painting is for a little bit of pizzazz and colour, a little bit of brightness in what is at the moment a very wet and miserable December. She says here in Western, is that New York? She says we are in for some extremely cold temperatures and lots of snow. Oh, I don't envy you that. She says staying warm and diamond painting, she says, are her top priorities this winter. and they are very good top priorities in my opinion. Good choice to make. Right, I'm actually not going to continue on back down here because I now do feel as though this one colour of finishing up the sand will block these, like finish these bits up. So I'm actually going to do the letter F first and finish up the sand dunes. Or maybe it's just the dirt or sand riverbed. That's it. Maybe the river bank. Is it the bank or the bed? The bank. The bed's underneath the water. Yeah, going to finish up the river banks first because I feel like that's a good sort of section to block off and say is finished, and then I'll go back to my bits of colour and get my bits of colour finished off. Kim, she says she started kitting up her temperature chart today. Oh, that's another plan that many people have for 2026. It's definitely going to make 2026 exciting. I am really looking forward to doing mine. She says she did the background colours today. She says she personally is going to use the colours and drills supplied by Diamond Art Studio for the temperature ranges 0 through to 100. She says she's going to add 2 more colour palettes for temperatures over 100 degrees Fahrenheit and below 0 degrees Fahrenheit. She says those temperatures are rare, she says, but they have actually been hit before. She says she's going to let hubby come up with the 2 palettes. I like it. Let hubby pick what it is that you're going to use. But yeah, it's amazing how different people's going to look depending on, of course, the colour ranges that they've chosen, which depends on where you live. Because I imagine Florida is not going to have much use for the very cold temperatures, for example. They're going to be better with higher ones. Okay, sorry, I just need to dip in the pot. But yeah, I'm interested to see. There is actually somebody in the Facebook group. I can't remember names because I'm rubbish with names. So more often than not, I don't try and commit them to memory when I'm reading Facebook posts. Sometimes I do, depending on what it is. But when I'm just reading general comments, names don't always sink in for me. But there is somebody who's currently doing the temperature chart with 2025 temperatures. So it's really interesting to see it sort of come together in that way. It's nice to sort of see an example one. But what's also really nice and what I like about the concept is that everybody's will be different. Like, unless you are literally 2 people from the same place, same town, or, you know, close in area, that is using not only the same colours but also the same ranges to note down. Other than that, they're all likely to be different, because even in the UK, for example, Cumbria is not that far away from us. It's still an hour or 2, but it's not, you know, states away as the Americans have. They have states away from each other. But they will still have vastly different temperatures to what we do. So they often get snow a lot more than we do. We're actually in a valley, so if it snows here, it'll already be snowing in Cumbria, more than likely. So yeah, even people that are a couple of hours away are going to have different things. And that's if they're all tracking temperature, because of course I'm not tracking temperature with mine. So mine's going to be completely different anyway. But yeah, I just love the fact that it's the same painting, but it's not. And that everybody gets a different outcome, and they're all going to look different when we see them starting to appear in the group. It's going to be fun. Teach Kill said, hi everyone. They are a teacher who is on their second snow day of the year already. Oof. She says this does not bode well. It does not bode well at all. Second snow day, goodness me. Though we have had a pretty cold snap quite early on in November, and it was quite sudden. I think that's what Megan said. Like it seemed to be a bit more of a shock to the system, the snow this time, because it was quite mild, and then all of a sudden it was freezing. She says they are forecast 6 to 12 inches overnight. Oof. She says, well, her small town got 15 inches. She says, so no school today. She says, which means house cleaning and other chores, as well as laundry. She says, because she is leaving for a conference on Thursday until Monday. She says she gets to be a geek for multiple days, and she's super excited. I love it. I could tell even by just reading that I get to be a geek for multiple days. She says, however, it does throw chaos into sub/lesson planning. Yes, because that's the thing for poor teachers. Even when they are out doing courses, whatever else, whatever else may come up that they need to do, further training, whatever else, it only means that somebody else is teaching the lesson, not planning the lesson, quite often not marking the lesson, not tracking things, not having to go back and check how each child did so that they're up to date with the relevant information or what extra help the child may be. They still have to do all of that. Regardless of the fact that, in fact, they have to do more work to be able to then go away and be a geek for a while. It's not the easiest job in the world, that's for sure. Oh, I think I tipped out exactly the right amount of diamonds here. If this one will stick. Are you just sticking on the glue dot, or are you concaved? Which one are you? I think it may be concaved, but we shall see. We'll try again. That was not the same diamond, just so you know. She also says, Rebecca, she says you did say Kalamazoo, right? She says she lived... Yeah, it's concave. She says she lived there when she was in college, and it's a fun city. She says, have a great day. Okay, I still had to decided to tip them in the pot to get my last one. That one drill was concaved. One drill. I will say, though, last night, just a little side note. Sorry, phone call. But, side note. When I was diamond painting last night and working on Spaceman, I was working on quite a big section. But with one of the diamond colours, the diamonds that were needed for the full section I was working on actually was the exact same number of diamonds I had left in the whole pot before I had to change. Exactly the right amount. So I have had the odd time, and I have had it on videos when I've had exactly the right amount of diamonds in my tray and not had to tip any more back in, which is always a nice little warm fuzzy feeling. But yeah, I wanted to let you know that I had one last night where I used all of the rest of the diamonds in my pot for that colour. I do, of course, have extra diamonds because of the amount of diamonds that are in that painting. But yeah, side note. Anyway, random side note. But day 6 is done. We actually have a connected section already. And as you saw yesterday, we are very much working in columns at the moment. It will vary up soon, but not yet. Tomorrow we are doing over here, and then it looks like 8, 9 are here. So we're starting to mix up a little bit more. But yeah, it's still fun and cute, and I don't mind that it's not completely random. I'm just enjoying each square for what it is. But thank you all so much for joining me. Have an amazing rest of your weekend, and I will speak to you all tomorrow.